All right, we're getting ready to install some smoked tail light lenses from Amazon on my 2024 Street Glide. I've been looking for some smoked out lenses. I had custom dynamics lights on my 2016 and you could buy like smoked lenses and just pop the lenses on. Not such a simple thing to do with the 2024s. It appears to be a sealed unit after looking at the ones I just got. I'm gonna go ahead and install them. We're gonna see how they look, see how they function. I'm gonna compare a OEM to an aftermarket side by side so you can see how they look, what they look like. Okay, we're going to turn the bike on. This is with the factory OEM tail lights, so you can see how bright they are. It's going to make me put in my, well, I might have my fob on me. I'm going to stand in front of the headlight to try and bring down the lights so you can see just how bright they are. That's the right turn. There's a left turn. Now that is with the factory red lenses in here. So here's our upgrade. These came with a black cover, but they should insert right into these factory lights. If they don't, I'm gonna be upset because I'm not getting rid of my white onyx pearl cover. So we're gonna see if we take these out and put these in, what they look like. All right guys, so this assembly is held onto the fender. There's 3 studs that come through here, so you just have 3 nuts to take off on the inside. Make sure you use Loctite when you put them back. And then the back of this light has 3 bolts to hold it in there. Little light plug right up there. Pinch that to unplug it. And this is loose. I'm gonna have to take these bolts loose though to get this light out. It's kind of wedged in there by this whole bracket. Now, the new light does fit in here fine, I think. We'll find out for sure when I put the bracket in, but it has a little pigtail instead coming off, so you had about 2 inches of wiring there. Just make sure you keep that tucked up in there good so you don't let it get around somewhere it shouldn't, but there's plenty of fender there to keep it from getting into the wheel or anything. Not a big deal. You'll see when you go to do it. Looks like this is a really simple install. I'm gonna put this one on, and then we're gonna fire the bike up and compare one smoked to one OEM light and see how they look. I got these about 125 bucks on Amazon. Looks like they run from 110 to 150 depending on if they're on sale. So I've been watching for them. I caught the ones I wanted. They were normally like 145 and I got them for like 125. All right, one thing to know, the OEM hardware does not seem like it fits these threads. They came with bolts, so I used the hex head bolts that came with them. The OEM hardware is Torx, and I think it's a coarser thread, so just use what came with them. We get some Loctite on. Here's those 3 little studs we were talking about. They've had Loctite on them, so I'm not putting much on there, but I do want to freshen it up just a hair. I don't want my tail light hanging on by a wire. Plug that in. This piece feels like plastic, so do not over tighten it. You could crack it by doing so. All right, let's see how it looks in the dark. So that's one smoked lens and one OEM lens. Let's go ahead and do the turn signal on the smoked. Let's do the turn signal on the OEM now. All right, and there they both are. I can't tell from back here how they look. I'm gonna go stand by the back of the bike and check it out. The Amazon one definitely is a little more defined bulbs and doesn't look quite as bright as a tail light. Let's see how it looks as a brake light. I would say the Amazon one's not as bright either. I really like the smoke look. I just wish they were a little brighter. And I know I got to do something about that tail light bracket. Don't worry. I keep being told it's on order, but I haven't seen it yet. All right, I got the bike all back together. Saddlebags and tour packer on it. We're going to go to dinner tonight, and we're going to ride the bikes. And my wife, Firecracker, rides her own. So she's going to ride behind me. I'm going to get her opinion of the lights compared to, the lights I ran previously on my 2016, which were custom dynamic. She actually complained about how bright they were because she felt like she wears glasses or contacts, depending on the situation. And she'd wear glasses. She felt like it glared off her glasses. They were so bright. So she actually liked that the OEM lights on this were not as bright. I don't know if maybe that's a safety concern. Can they be too bright? Is that a problem? I mean, I always thought the better visibility, the better chance someone's going to see me braking and not run into me. But, could it be a hazard for people that are riding behind you if you're riding a group? So we're going to go have dinner, and I'm going to get her opinion, and tomorrow we'll talk about it. All right, guys, we rode the Street Glide last night, and Firecracker followed me on her Sport Glide. And she said that the lights were really not much different from the OEM lights. Maybe a hair not quite as bright, but that, not like it was a problem to see my signals or anything like that. It's not bad. So I guess the question of if it's worth it or not depends on if you're trying to get brighter lights than the OEM lights. If you want something brighter than the stock lights like custom dynamic lights are, then these are probably not what you're looking for. If you're going more for aesthetics and how they look, and you don't care if they're super bright as long as they're functional, then this is probably a good purchase. I really like the smoke lenses. I'm going to run them. We'll see if we have any problems with them from a quality perspective, make sure they hold up, things like that. So I'm going to run them for a while. Now, if down the road, somebody like Custom Dynamics or somewhat Zero 3D or somebody that's doing lighting comes out with a OEM style light that is LED and brighter and has smoke lenses, then I might look at upgrading. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to run these. I mean, 90% of the time when I'm riding, my wife is directly behind me. She's watching for me. She's watching what's going on. So I don't know that having super bright taillights when I'm the leader of the pack is necessarily, as important as for someone who's riding solo all the time. Anyway, wanted to share this with you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you dig the content. If you're new here, thanks for watching. If you're a repeat offender, thanks for coming back. Y'all stay safe, keep on riding, and we'll see you in the next one.